many believe you need 4 million just to enjoy a comfortable retirement. So why has this benchmark shifted so drastically? And more importantly, what can we do to stay ahead? Hi friends, welcome back. If you're new here, I'm Diane, a wealth strategist advising top global firms and a mom of two. Here to help you build wealth, balance life, and to create a prosperous future for your family. Today, we're exploring why 4 million is the new magic number, how to adjust our financial strategy for today's challenges, and actionable steps we can take now to secure our future. The best part is these strategies are easy to apply, even if you're just starting out from scratch, regardless of your age, your experience, or just looking for ways to improve your finances today. So, without wasting more time, let's jump in. According to a Northwestern Mutual study, the average American expects to need over 1.46 million to retire comfortably. But for those with investable assets of over $1 million, the wealthy are targeting 4 million to maintain this lifestyle well into retirement. And really, this highlights the big difference in lifestyle each kind of person wants to maintain as they get older. So for an example, someone who would want to live on retirement where they spend their time traveling frequently, enjoying unique experiences, and doing things you couldn't do when you were younger will naturally require a larger financial reserve. So for this lifestyle, 4 million makes sense. On the other hand, if you're aiming for a more of a modest lifestyle, traveling once or twice a year and living within your means, 1.46 million could work. But here's the key. Having a higher fund doesn't automatically mean you'll avoid financial issues. To make our money last, we need to understand one critical yet highly overlooked concept that most beginners that are planning for their retirement tend to ignore. And this single concept is what separates those who succeed in retirement from those who struggle for years on end. Think of it like this. Without understanding what it is, it would be like trying to build a house with a strong foundation. And over time, the foundation will weaken and the house won't be able to sustain itself, leading it to come crashing down. My baby. The same applies to your retirement. And the concept I'm referring to is the withdrawal rate. It's what's known as a foundation for building a sustainable income stream throughout retirement. But knowing what it is isn't enough. We have to understand how it works for us to apply it. So that's why I've created a small breakdown that any beginner planning to retire can understand and implement right away. The 4% withdrawal rule provides a simple strategy. Withdraw 4% of your total retirement savings in year 1 of retirement. Adjust the amount annually for inflation to preserve your purchasing power. So for an example, if you retire with $1 million, you withdraw $40,000 in the first year. With a 2% inflation in year 2, your withdrawal increases to $40,800. Repeat this process each year to balance spending and inflation. For a $4 million fund, this translates to an annual income to $160,000 per year, placing you well above the US median household income of over $80,000 in 2023. Now imagine this, a $4 million fund allows you to withdraw $160,000 annually, giving you more freedom to travel, help your kids, or enjoy retirement without stress, especially if your home is paid off. So by understanding this withdrawal rate, we can work backwards to calculate how much money we need for retirement. We can start by asking, what age will I retire? What lifestyle do I want? How much money do I need to make each year? Now, once we know these numbers, the 4% rule helps us set a clear target for our retirement savings. So whether it's 1.46 million, 4 million, or somewhere in between or more, this strategy equips us to make smarter, live better, and enjoy in retirement with less stress. Now that we understand the $4 million benchmark, let's address a big question that most of us might have on our minds right now. How realistic is this $4 million goal? Now, I think most of us just might want a comfortable retirement, one we don't have to worry so much about daily expenses, debt, or unexpected costs. But getting there takes planning. To put this into perspective, here's what it would take to save $4 million by age 65. Start at 25, you invest over $10,000 a year or over $800 a month at 7% annual return. Start at 35, you'd invest over $21,000 a year or over $1,700 a month. Start at 40, then you would need to invest over $30,000 a year or over $2,600 a month. Now you'll notice that starting later in life dramatically increases the amount you need to save. This shows the power of compound interest. The earlier you start, the less you need to invest annually. Starting at 25 requires over $800 a month. Starting at 35, over $1,700 a month. And wait until 40, you're at $2,600 a month. That's over 3 times more, and most of us don't have that kind of financial flexibility later in life. So starting early makes all the difference. But here's the challenge. Life happens, and for many of us in our 30s, big milestones happen. Marriage, kids, home ownership. These big ticket items make it harder to save, which is why building financial literacy early is critical. So instead of feeling overwhelmed, focus on building a strong financial foundation. Understand how money works, including budgeting, saving, investing, and managing debt. You want to spend wisely. Keep housing costs under 28% of your income and total debt under 36%. I mentioned housing because this is one of the largest expenses you'll have, then car payment or childcare. Now increase your income. You'll have to upskill. Don't immediately quit your day job, but instead explore additional side hustles or pursue strategic career moves to give yourself more flexibility so you can think about making more money. When I started investing into my long-term future, I started to study hundreds of articles and resources to learn how to budget, invest, and plan for my retirement. But after studying 10 to 15 of these articles, I realized something was off. Understanding when you should start investing for the $4 million retirement is one thing, but determining if it's the right goal for you is another. That's why we should ask ourselves one critical yet overlooked question that many beginners starting to invest in their retirement tend to overlook. Is $4 million really the magic number for you? The truth is, retirement goals really depend on your lifestyle, financial situation, and priorities. So whether you aim for 1.46 million or 4 million depends on your goals. Whether you want a modest retirement, 1.46 might work. You want to travel, leave a legacy, or more flexibility, 4 million might be a better target. So you can use tools like Fidelity Savings Multiplier to calculate what you need based on your income and your desired lifestyle. Retirement isn't a one-size-fits-all. So start with what's manageable and focus on progress. So whether your goal is 1 million or 4 million, the key is to build your plan and to take small, consistent steps towards it. Now that we've covered what that big 4 million goal is and whether it's a right fit for us, we should consider other aspects that play an even more crucial part into this. Because after calculating all the retirement costs and spending, there's one thing retirees completely neglect and leave until the end of the retirement process, which is one of the things that they should actually focus on first. And once you understand this one crucial concept, not only will allow us to live more comfortable in our retirement, it would also reduce our financial worries so we can create more joyful experiences during retirement. And that thing is how inflation and rising costs are among the biggest threats to our retirement, things that are often out of our control. Over the past 30 years, prices have more than doubled, with inflation rising over 112%. What cost $1 in 1994 now costs over $2 in 2024. Think about it like this. In 1994, a gallon of milk cost over $2.88, but now it's closer to over $5. That's inflation. Your money buys less every year. At a rate of 2 to 3% annual inflation, the purchasing power of our money and our savings declines every year, making it harder to sustain the same amount over time. So even with strong savings, inflation can shrink our purchasing power significantly. Rising costs in food, housing, and healthcare will affect every retiree. And here's the challenge: wages haven't kept up. From 1979 to 2021, wages for the top 1% grew over 200%, while wages for the bottom 90% only grew over 20%. To illustrate this, a top 1% earner made over $100,000 in 1979. Their wage would have grown to over $300,000 in 2021. For bottom 90% wage earners, if they made over $20,000 in 1979, they would have only grown to over $25,000 by 2021. So while prices have doubled, wages for the bottom 90% barely grew. With additional income sources, this gap can leave our savings falling short. So if we don't account for inflation and wage stagnation, our savings might not last enough through retirement, leading to more financial stress and reduced quality of life. So how can we protect ourselves? The good news is that we can take proactive measures to offset the inflation and rising costs. Think about your retirement accounts. Start saving into your Roth IRA and your 401k. This can let your money compound over time, allowing you to reap the benefits of it as you retire. You want to think about creating multiple income streams. The average millionaire has around 7 streams of income. A survey by Lending Club shows that 50% of US adults have at least one side hustle, contributing to about $50 billion in additional revenue every year. High earners, even those making over $100,000, report having additional income sources. So by building additional income streams, you're increasing your flexibility, hedging against life's uncertainties, and reduce your reliance on single savings account only. Next, you want to diversify your investments. Spread your savings across different assets, stocks, bonds, real estate, to hedge against inflation and market fluctuations. Friends, if you made it this far, thanks for watching. Now, whether 4 million is the number or 1 million is your number, you'll want to figure out how much you should save by age and income. And you can check out my video over here, or watch my next video on the real power of having a fully paid off home, which is one of the biggest expenses you'll make in your lifetime. Thanks so much, friends, and see you in the next one.